Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir Selling Gods video. In today's video, I'm going to show you the team that I'm using to farm the Grave of Wrath to speed farm it. Pretty much, I'm beating stage 20 in about 58 seconds, 58, 59, 1 minute max, and it's a thing of beauty. And honestly, it's not like a Kraken level, so to speak, account or team. It's, you know, using some specific heroes that I pulled for that gets this to run pretty fast, so let's check it out. So this dungeon is extremely important, honestly, to farm. I think I'm gonna make a video on the dungeon priorities one of the next few days, because that's kind of like the thing I always do, right? Every time when there's a season, after I test out and see how the dungeons feel, you know, the Grave of Wrath, Cursed Rot, Heretical Ruins, Ancient Battlefield, I kind of make a video on like, okay, what's going to be the priorities? What do you want to farm first? And honestly, Rot is going to be one of the ones at the top. The reason for that is the mythic pieces of gear from here are extremely amazing. Amazing, really important, especially this one, right? This glove that gives the wearer, makes the wearer deal more damage against targets with defense penalty is going to be huge, because in most of the teams that we have, we build for any area of the game, we have at least 2 damage dealers. So getting lots of these powerful gloves is going to be extremely important. Now, let's check out the team that I'm actually using. And as you can see, it's pretty much a wild team, right? My base level Flora, which, you know, I just pulled for recently. Base level Casper, no inspiration on him, I just got him. Base level Felicity, which I had before, but, you know, you can hopefully pull somebody like her, but she might not be mandatory. You could replace her with somebody else. It might just take an extra rotation to kill the boss. And then the 2 key elements in here that work really good is going to be Thea, the queen of debuff immunity for ranged people. And the cool thing is she's free, right? We all get her at I don't even remember, I think it's the heroic path, like day 5, 7, 9, something like that. She's free, everybody can get her, she's amazing. And then I'm actually using Ogok as my tank, so to speak, and he does a pretty amazing job. But don't necessarily think you really need Ogok. It might work with another, like maybe a tank instead, just like somebody like a Garius could work just fine. But let's just run this team so you see exactly how this one works for me. And it's kind of a thing of beauty, right? It's a speed farm at the end of the day, right? I guess it's more of a showcase, but you know what? With how generous the game has been, this team can be just straight up an easy guide, right? I can call it a guide because honestly, I've not unlocked the 5-man affinity yet, and honestly, well, this team doesn't have a 5-man affinity because I have Thea that's not part of the fire plus poison team, right, to enable that 5-man one. So it's like, you know what, most people should be able to do it. Obviously, it's going to depend a little bit on the gear and on the talents and affinity. Again, for the affinity, I just kind of got like up to the 5-man one, so I do get a little bit of bonus for the or benefit for the accuracy, some attacks, some HP, but as you can see, there's no, you know, there's no scary part where it kind of looks like we're dying. And the key over here is obviously Thea, right? Thea is just amazing to block out those debuffs. And then at the same time, as you see, Ogok is really powerful because he puts that unkillable on us, right? It makes it be, if you're not going to use Ogok and use, like I said, Garius, it's going to be a little bit different because you take a lot of hits every time the boss does the second skill, right? The more debuffs you have, the more the boss does damage. So if that's the case, if you're gonna have a Garius, then you might want to do the hits for with your people a little bit later. And the reason why I say that is because this one does damage in a specific area. You kind of saw that everybody's split, right? So this one kind of focuses around the main target, and then it, you know, does damage. But the more debuffs the boss has, the more hits it does. He already starts out with 2 of them, with the corruption and also from the passive with the attack penalty. So once I put my Casper debuff, and then I start putting the defense penalties from Felicity, that's going to be 3 more debuffs, which means the boss is going to hit 5 times with this, so that's going to be painful. So if you're going to use Garius, look at the presets that I'm using and just push them a little bit later, right? So let's look at the skill timings. Thea, as soon as she has the ultimate, I let her use it, and then every 18 seconds, because that's the full rotation of the boss goes on, so you want her to land that debuff immunity every time at the 18th second. And the cool thing is, definitely want to keep this in mind, she grants debuff immunity only to allied ranged units, right? It's not going to be all of them, so allied ones. Make sure you have a full allied team if you can. Then we have Flora, she goes at 11, like as soon as she possibly can, then every 18 seconds. Then we have Casper as soon as possible, him after Flora, every 18 seconds, and then Felicity last, every 18 seconds. Now, the reason I'm using this as soon as possible with Flora, with my Ogok team, is because her massive boost of damage to be able to free up Ogok happens after 10 seconds. So, if you calculate 11 plus 10, that's going to be 21. The full boss's rotation is 18 seconds. That means it's going to be 3 seconds into the point where the boss is going to be doing the first skill again. So that's why I'm using it this early. It kind of works out best for me. So I can free out Ogok and heal him and do all the fun stuff. Now, I guess let's go ahead and check the builds, the elements. Let me show you the elemental affinity. So this is what I have. Attack, defense, HP, the usual stuff, and just accuracy. That's it, right? I don't have the 5-man element unlocked. This is all. Now let's go and have a look at the builds. First of all, I'm going to show you the talents for everybody. Talents for Thea, as you see, it's not even done completely. I could even do this one more, honestly, because it would give us more healing, but still, Thea works just okay at this point. Next one, Ogok, all the way in the middle. This is like the ideal one. He does so much more healing. He brings that damage reduction. It just makes it be really good. This is the one that worked for me. Now, I'm not sure, maybe the top one could work as well, right? This one could be really cool because it's pretty, pretty similar, but I do believe that it's, you kind of choose, see what works for you. This is the one that works for me. The middle one, that's what I went with. For Felicity, I went on the bottom side because I want the extra dice roll, right? I want to roll the dice higher so I can get more damage for Flora and Casper. Casper, he has the full one. I went with the top side. I'm not sure if this is the best or not, but again, this is the initial testing that I did and it worked just fine for me. And then for Flora, I just went with the middle side, which I believe this one to be the best. Again, talents is a new thing, still experimenting, still testing, but this is what worked for me for now. Now let's have a look at the builds. Again, you see nobody has any inspirations, everybody's just base level, no inspirations, nothing. Then if we look at the skill ups, everybody's fully skilled up. And now let's have a look at the builds. So Ogok's running the Spiritual Incense Burner. The reason why I'm using this one is that this is going to lower his ultimate recharge time to get it to the 18 seconds, which means every time he gets the ultimate, it's going to be at least 18 seconds, which is the rotation. He goes on, and you saw he always uses it on the 18-second mark, and that's perfect because it keeps us alive. And then for a build, I actually went with Ancestral Protection on him, right? So he can soak up some of the damage from everybody else. And then I focused as much Enlightenment and attack percent with some survivability that I could, so it boosts his healing on the battle skill, and it boosts his healing on the ultimate. You're gonna see he has proficiency, attack bonus, and then like what? Defense, because I didn't swap to proficiency. Maybe I have one. I don't, so... Oh yeah, I did. I should have swapped to this one, but you know what? It's fine. It worked, so it's not ideal and still worked. Then next one, let's look at Thea. Thea's running the Rift Hourglass. I tried to boost as much skill haste on Thea as possible so that she does her initial ultimate as soon as possible, right? Because this one, you can see, does it at 8.1. Right now with 64 skill haste. However, with the extra 100, it does it a lot faster. So you ideally want to have this as close to 6-7 seconds as possible, so you do it before the boss does the initial hit, because that's going to put debuffs, it's going to make it be a little bit more complicated. So because of that reason, you saw that you're going to see that I have what's it called, this set that gives me skill haste, and then this one that gives me skill haste. It's not a full set, it's two pieces of different sets. And again, I focused proficiency and attack bonus because same principle. The cool thing about Thea is on her battle skills, she heals the ally with the lowest current HP, but also heals all allies that are under invisibility. And guess what? She places invisibility on all the ranged allies on the ultimate, so this is gonna work just fine to bring that massive healing as well. Now, if we're gonna look at Felicity, she's gonna be obviously running the Witch's Remains, but then to make the whole team for the damage dealers, make sure that they have the 18 seconds recharge time without having to give them all 55 skill haste, which is the number that you care about in order to get your ultimates. If they are on base of 20 down to 18, you need to get to 55 skill haste, but I kind of forego that mechanic and do it a bit different by having on her the Puppeteer Inspiration. What does this one do? When the wearer casts an ultimate skill, allies of the same element gain 10% ultimate energy, and this one can target every 15 seconds. So this is another reason why my Felicity goes last, is because she's gonna be boosting the ultimate energy of herself, Casper and Flora by 10%, which is kind of the equivalent of having the Incense Burner maxed out. You see this one's not even maxed out, but this set makes it be exactly like having that, so it means everybody's gonna be on an 18-second rotation, which makes it just, be extremely easy to kind of like, you know, sort that thing out to get the right sync going on. Now for her, just make sure you hit the 300 accuracy and then, I guess, throw as much attack as you can in her. I went a little bit overkill because you need 300, she has 333, plus if we add the one from the elemental affinities, that's another 50, it would be 383. So a little bit overkill. I could maybe swap this one for an attack percent, but you know what? I didn't have a right attack percent for this, or I didn't have a crit rate in the puppeteer yet, I think, or did I? Nope, I didn't have it, so that's why I kept it with this one. Now let's look at Casper. Casper's gonna have this artifact, the exclusive wild one. You don't really need it. It helps you kill the boss a bit faster, right? Like, obviously for the speed run, it helps to try and give it the best possible, but still, there's tons of place to improvement. As you can see, I don't have the good artifacts on the bottom side. I just have some randoms, some of the random ones, which again, look at this. It's like, it's one of the mythic pieces, but it's not ideal. It's like really bad rolls. This one's decent because it gives some crit damage, but no crit rate, no attack percent, so there's space for improvement. More damage over here. This one we get from the story that I used on him, and then a crit damage one with some crit rate. Not 100% crit rate, but it works just fine. And then Flora, she's running again a piece of artifact at the top that at least this one has triple proficiency. Nothing else helps me. Then for the weapon, again, this one, I only have this that helps, that's it. Nothing else is useful for my Flora build on this weapon, but it works. For the glove, I do have the Strike the Unprepared. It's a flat attack, but you know what? I noticed in my video yesterday in the Vortex that this specific piece of gear, just even though it's flat attack, even though I lost 700 attack compared to the previous glove that I had, it still made me do a ton more damage. So I said, you know what? I'm keeping this flat attack for now. It works just fine. And then there's the chest plate with proficiency with some more attack. Obviously for Flora, you focus enlightenment and attack as much as possible because that's how her damage works. And for her, the ideal artifact is going to be her exclusive one. If you don't have her exclusive one, the next best one is going to be the Queen's Fan. Just make sure she is as further away as possible. I even had a mistake. She should be one more tile behind because that's going to make her do more damage. I guess let me just run this again because it's a thing of beauty. But also keep in mind the placements, right? You see that the way that I have everybody, they're all like completely spread out. Again, the reason for that is the fact that the boss's second skill, as you saw, does it on a square shape. So it always centers around the target that it selects. And by having everybody be at least one tile away from each other, right? So if they're going to be like this or like this, two people will take damage. So if she gets hit twice, they both get hit twice. So keep that in mind. That's really important. But like this, it should work. It works pretty fine. You see that we take some damage, we survive, and it's a thing of beauty, right? I really, really like this team, and this is really fun, and I'm happy that I managed to do this. Flora's amazing. I just love Flora. If you're debating, like, should you summon for her or not? Yes, do it. She's amazing. But anyway, we're gonna leave it at this. Thank you for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.